Hello, families. I am Teresa DiMarino, one of the kindergarten teachers that will be here at Shaker Road in September when your kids start school. And I'm really looking forward to meeting our new kindergarten class. I'm going to talk to you today about the importance of reading to your child. Hopefully, you've already been reading to your child at home, but if not, this is a perfect time to start. Reading to your child is one of the most important things you will do to support their education. Reading to your child expands their vocabulary. It introduces them to new vocabulary words in the context of a story or a book where they're learning about something, and it gives them exposure to vocabulary, which is wonderful. It also gives them the opportunity to discuss that vocabulary word with an adult, yourself. Reading develops creative thought, helps to foster creative thoughts. It establishes wonderful routines. I know we had always read to our kids when it was time for bed. We would have a whole routine. It would be baths and books, and then it would be bedtime, bath, books, and bed. And the kids really thrived on having that routine. They looked forward to reading with their parents each night, and that was a wonderful way to incorporate some one-on-one time with our kids as well. Reading with your child develops a love of books. They will begin to love sitting on your lap and hearing stories from an early age. As soon as you start reading with them, they'll really enjoy that. And they'll even bring books over to you and ask you to read to them, I'm sure, if you start doing that. They will likely find characters that they love and want to find more books but with that character in them. I know some of the favorites were always like Clifford books and Pete the Cat books and Pinkalicious books. Those were some favorites here at this house. And reading with your child creates great memories too. I know a lot of the books that we read, I have wonderful memories just about reading those books and maybe even having my child read those books back to me as they grew. I'm going to show you this little video.
Here's Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
There was an article in the Los Angeles Times recently about the importance of parents reading to their children. The article mentioned an informal study of parents with children in 10 kindergarten classrooms in which only 2 of the children were read aloud to more than once a week. Every teacher will tell you that the children who are read to by their parents have an academic head start over other boys and girls. More than just better reading skills, they usually get an extra dose of confidence, and they're better able to communicate with the teacher and the other students. When the television set replaces books, however, it's clear that more than test scores suffer. Watching television is often a very passive experience, but there's a certain magic that happens when a parent is holding a child on his lap, reading a book to him. There's an interaction and a communication that takes place between generations. Your child may point to a picture or ask a question or make a statement, and every story can then become a springboard for conversation into the child's world. A time of reading aloud at the end of the day can be an important time of learning for your child, a time of relaxation and stress relief for you, and a special avenue to bonding and intimacy for both of you. That small amount of effort is guaranteed to pay big dividends in the days ahead.
Dr. James Dobson with Family Talk.
It really is a wonderful time to just develop a routine of reading with your child. And as we heard in the video, there's wonderful things that your child will gain from that time. They'll develop confidence that they will need when school starts. They'll develop some great communication skills through the new vocabulary that they'll learn. And also, they'll be ready to read when it comes time to start getting books in the kids' hands that they'll be able to read on their own. They're going to understand how books work. They're going to understand how stories sound, and they're going to have some really important skills already in their repertoire for being prepared for becoming a reader. So those are some really great things that they'll gain just by you giving them a few minutes each day of reading. So what you can do at home is to read books with your child every day. Find books that you would both enjoy to read and encourage your child to read along with you. The first time you read a book, they might not read it with you, but if you take one of the important things is to read some books over and over. You don't necessarily need a ton of books in your home. You can have, a solid library of, say, 15 to 20 books, even that you kind of go to those books all the time. And maybe each night you read 2 books, or you read their favorite book each night and then another book. And they will start to pick up on that story. They'll start to finish the pages. They'll start to turn the pages. They will they'll really develop some love for those books, and they'll read their old favorites over and over again, just like we will in our classroom. Discuss stories after you've read them. Talking about the stories helps children develop their vocabularies, and it also helps them to link stories to everyday life. So I know one of the stories that we read a lot here at my house was Alexander and the horrible, no good, very bad day. And we often would bring that up when somebody was having a bad day. And we would use one of the lines from the books. It's like that even in Australia. So having some favorites and, going back to those, when something's happening during the day at your home, and you can say, oh, this reminds me of that story. And your kids will start to do that as well. Assist your child in retelling stories that you read. Talk about what happens in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. Talk about favorite parts of stories that you read, and what are the favorite parts maybe for you as the person reading the book, and even for your child as the person listening to the book. Talk about what your favorite parts are, because chances are you're going to have a different part than your child, and discussing it is a great way to get your child to start talking about what they read, which is an important part of comprehension skills that they'll need as they start to read more. Reading rhyming books and saying rhyming chants together is also a great activity that helps to get kids ready for reading. Giving your child pairs of words and have them tell you if they rhyme or don't rhyme. Like you could say, cat and hat are rhyming words. Is bat and mat a rhyming word? And your child will likely pick up on that pattern, that words that sound alike at the end are words that rhyme. Does chair and table rhyme? No, they don't rhyme. They don't sound the same at the end. So give your child some exposure to rhyming words. You can do it through books and even just playing little games like that when you're driving along or outside playing. Go to the library. We have a great town library in Colony, and we have a great school library at Shaker Road. I know the school library has opportunities to borrow books, so definitely check that out. I'm sure you can access that information on the South Colony Schools website. If you find the Shaker Road website on there, you'll be able to access how you can borrow books from the Shaker Road Library this summer. And you don't have to go out and buy your own books. You can always borrow them from the library, but having some to own at your home is also a great option too. I recommend Barnes & Noble, Scholastic, Amazon. Target even has a great selection. Find books that your kids love. You don't need a ton of books, but I would say get some good ones that your kids would love to read over and over again. So, and like I said in the beginning, this is one of the best investments you can make in your child's education. We look forward to meeting you in September, and happy reading throughout the summer. Bye.